One of the earliest recollections I have of coming to Lake of the Woods was in 1976, and I remember being here with Nan and Diane and Jim and Gloria, and there was some friends here, and we were all celebrating 4th of July Day here, and it was the 200th anniversary, and that struck in my mind because it was something that Nan was really emphatic about, and she wanted everybody to know how great it was that we were a country that was celebrating that.
The cabin was gorgeous. I was a little intimidated by Jim's mother. She was really nice. I mean, it's really nice, but she had a lot of rules about where to put your towels, and so I was a little intimidated about just the circumstances, kind of being the new girlfriend. But it was just so lovely. I loved the sunrise. You can go on the dock and watch the sunrise and sit out there. It was, I'd never experienced a place like this growing up. I mean, we went on camping trips, so I been around mountain lakes and those kinds of things, but not, a cabin and a dock and a boat, and just the blue jays in the morning, squirrels, it was just this wonderland.
Cheeky, quaint, cute, just unique cabin that it's always been, and be able to share it with as many people as we can.
I feel like my first memory of Lake of the Woods was probably trying to get up on 2 skis. I don't know why. It's probably like my most embarrassing, as well as like my first memory, because I was probably, 5, 6. And I remember everybody was pushing me to try to get up on 2 skis. And I couldn't do it. I remember getting so frustrated. But for some reason I remember like everybody in the boat, everybody cheering me on, and my dad would hold me behind and kind of push me up. I remember I think I got up for like a few seconds and I panicked.
My first memory of Lake of the Woods. Oh, it's a sad one. It was 4th of July. It was this time. I was I think I was 4 years old. And we had a Shetland sheepdog, Muffy, who was sitting on my mom's lap on the dock watching these wonderful fireworks we're going to see tonight. And he bolted because he got scared. Didn't have a leash on him. He ran up in the woods. We never found him. And I remember walking around yelling his name. And it was very sad. Unfortunately, my first memory is a sad memory.
So my first memory of Lake of the Woods was from 7 years ago. I married Aaron Osgood, so I had the pleasure of being brought here. And it was how so many people could fit into one very, very tiny home. And somehow there were beds popping up in every single corner. And I think I was just amazed how 2 different families could come all together over 1 week and all be together, and everything somehow went smoothly, with never running out of food or alcohol any time, and never having to really wait for the bathroom, even though there's only 1 bathroom. So that was my first memory, I think.
Geez, first memories probably, I don't know how old I was, but it was down at the dock. I just remember being, tucked up in a towel, guarding some chairs, guarding the wind. And I was probably, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. That was my first memory up here, being down at the dock.
My first memory of Lake of the Woods, fishing, maybe with my grandpa, my dad's dad, on the dock with my brother, and just, enjoying the place up here. It's a beautiful place, and yeah, probably fishing, either that or working, one or the other. We're always up here doing stuff, so.
We had a very small wedding here. We had all of our friends come, which they all did, which was pretty wonderful. Not my first memory, but probably one of my most fondest memories. I came up here for the first time in 2015, so I've been here for 4 years. And I guess the dance over at the lodge would probably be my first memory. That was a lot of fun. Live music.
Old, but my first memory of being at Lake of the Woods, all of my memories pretty much involved Zach and Eli. who are both a little bit older than me, and Aaron, who's my brother, who's 5 years younger than me. And I had this memory of us skinny dipping as kids, and there was this rock that was kind of like right offshore that we go and like jump off of, but because I'm the only girl, they all had to turn away and cover their eyes whenever I get on the rock to jump off. And it's just like this funny, I don't know, sweet memory, kind of like poignant because I just always, you know, being the only girl in this crew, kind of felt like a thing. And so I think that kind of just embodied that experience.
One of my first memories coming here to Lake of the Woods is, I can't remember, I think it was right out of high school, and I was invited up here by Eli for the 4th of July, and yeah, we were out on the dock, and I had a big old crush on him, and we were pointing up at the stars, and he told me that the Milky Way is not a constant cloud that just happens to be in the sky, which I thought it was a cloud that was just always in the sky, but he said it was a constellation of stars. And I was like, my mind was blown. But yeah, it's my first memory, and I really wanted him to kiss me, but he didn't. But I got him now.
How did I meet my wife? I met my wife skiing up at Mount Hood. I had taken a day off of school, and she had a day off of work. She'd already graduated. She was a nurse working in an ICU unit, and she was up skiing with a girlfriend.
I was just learning to ski. I had to sit to turn left, you know, I could snow plowing. But I had a coworker who was a beautiful skier, and we went up together to ski. But she went off to do some more challenging things, and I'm working my way down.
And I had skipped school, gone up on my own to Mount Hood to ski, and actually met her girlfriend and skied with her girlfriend all morning.
And as I'm going down a slope, I look up the hill, and there's this guy just shushing down right toward me. And I remember thinking, as I'm kind of hunched over in my snowplow, you know, what a rude guy. You know, I'm the downhill skier. I should have the right of way, but I'm going slow. And
Susan was just kind of like a ski bunny. She couldn't really turn, and I was getting ready to go over a jump that I had to abort.
Thinking about where am I going to sit so I can turn left. And he had seen a jump or something. Anyway, he nearly ran into me but stopped. And before I could sort of say something probably kind of critical, my friend shushed down and said, "Oh, Susan, this is Jim."
How did I know Susan was the one I wanted to marry? It was just a gut feeling, you know, just something that, you know, I sensed right from the beginning.
I met Dwayne at college. Whitworth College was my second college, and it was 1975. I had been there a year already, so I was a sophomore. I guess I was my sophomore year, yeah, it must have been my sophomore year. And he transferred in. And it was a very small college. So to have a transfer, I mean, we were all sort of looking for who was going to come, right? And oh my God, he was good looking. I mean, drop dead gorgeous. And he was the football quarterback. And I was a bookworm.
I met her in a dorm. We had a dorm party, and someone introduced us, and I thought she was very attractive.
But I went after him with everything I had, and I won.
What would be my most embarrassing moment? Probably the time that I backed into the wood stove and my pants were wet, and all of a sudden I felt like my pants were on fire. And I started running around the kitchen and tried to take those shorts off as quickly as I could. My backside was on fire.
Early on, it was, you'd have to pretty much bathe, and there was no hot water. And you'd sort of bathe in the lake. And that was, yeah, I hated that. It was always really, I was a little bit of a wuss. And Jim finally, there was a hot water heater. And so he put a hose there so I could, you know, so he set up. So I was the one who got a little shower, you know, outside. So I was a little bit of the wuss when it came to that.
My most embarrassing story is probably from high school. We used to have a lot of friends up here. Mom Mom made sure we had entertainment, and she didn't want to do the entertaining. So she had us have a lot of friends up. And we used to, as teenagers, love to do some crazy things, and one of them was skinny dipping. And she would not let us skinny dip unless we had life jackets on, right? So we'd be skinny dipping with these life jackets on, the white ones that went across the belly, which sort of defeated the whole purpose of, of doing that. So it was embarrassing to have my mom be so strict.
I think my favorite part is we're all together. I think that's really the best part, is just, being able to, like I said earlier, like being able to wake up and then grab some coffee on the deck, and everybody kind of wakes up and we just all hang out together. I think there's really nothing better than this place, like this whole environment, and having all the family here.
One is just being up here away from the routine of daily life and being with the family and friends. I mean, this cabin's entertained literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people over the years. And just being up here, getting away, no technology. We kind of have an unspoken rule up here, and we don't have a TV. We play a lot of board games. So just connecting with people, having those relationships.
We get to share these experiences. I mean, today I had 3 kids. I got to catch their first fish of a lifetime, in a span of 10 minutes, and just the look on their faces, the excitement, it's just, you can't explain it. You can't, unless you're there doing it. It's beautiful, man.
One of the messages my grandfather gave to me was, when you're 80, pretend like you're 80 years old when you're making a decision that's important, and think about how you'd feel about that decision.
Always treating this place with lots of love and making it available for our families for many, many years to come.
The boat parade that's going on right now, I'm sure you can hear the horn. I want to be able to bring the kids up here every year. We've come every single year for the 4th of July for the week. I want the kids to make great memories, just like Zach did.
I would love for it to continue to be a space where family can come.
I think it's just, it's important for us to kind of remember that. I think as things get busy, life always of course gets busy, other things come up, but to really hang on to kind of the integrity and the value of this time that we have as a family, I think is something that I'm going to try to hang on to and really keep at the top of my list of priorities.
With family and human beings is so rare, and we come up here and that's what we do. We obviously have sit-down dinners. We play board games, we play poker, we play Monopoly, and as fast as the world's getting, it's getting harder and harder to do those things. So I think I want that tradition to continue, and if that can meet generation 10, that'd be a victory.
To continue to value having family time together, and whatever the effort it takes to get together and have some family time, even once a year, I just think that's important. And life's too short to be at odds, and so if we could just be around each other, even if it's just for one weekend out of the year, and do that every year, and just have the privilege of seeing the families grow up together and just love and support on each other.
I'd like to be remembered as someone that enjoyed life, that I'd like to be remembered as someone that didn't require a lot of maintenance. I don't want to be someone that others feel like they need to take care of. So I'd like to be self-sufficient. I'd like to be remembered as being, very self-sufficient and very loving. I love them all, and I know they all love me, and I'm so happy that we are all together and able to share experiences together, spend time together.
Sharing, what kind of message would I share with my family? That they're the most important thing to me. That it's been a wonderful life. It's had its ups and downs, and it's darker times, like everybody's life does at times, but it has been a great life. Just blessed. What makes me happy is them being happy. That I look forward to maybe being a grandparent, but it's like as long as my kids are happy, that's all I can ask.